Ho, ho, ho! Good tidings! Stuff my stockings. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Qyjari's Curious Crafts. Today on Aunt Anne's tree, I am going to show you how you can make this adorable little chili pepper ornament just in time for Cinco de Mayo. I don't know if you have any plans for Cinco de Mayo or if you hang ornaments for that occasion, but hey, we'll have you ready to go if you do. I was just getting some needles threaded to kind of prep myself, but let me go over the tools and materials you'll need. First of all, if you checked out my Discord channel, you will see that the pattern is available there. It's a very easy pattern. We should get this done today in one shot. It only requires 3 pieces of pattern. The pepper part, the calyx. Did you know that that part was called a calyx? That's that, not the stem part, but the part right below the stem, the greenery. That's called a calyx. I did not know that until I looked up what that part was called to put it on my pattern. And of course you'll need a mustache for our little chili pepper because that makes him perfect. Okay, so also as far as the supplies you'll need, 3 colors of felt, and you don't have to do a chili pepper. You could do a jalapeno. Let me show you my jalapeno. There he is. I used green for him, of course, and a coordinating trim on his hat. I kept the calyx a little bit. It's green, but it's a little different color green. So if you have both, you can make both. So there's the jalapeno, but today we're making the chili pepper with the red. You'll also need this trim here. I found this at Hobby Lobby, and it's just in the ribbon section, and it just looks like little pom-poms hanging from like a decoration, like a string of pom-poms. These are tiny. They're only like 3 or 4 millimeters wide. I have the green that I'm going to use today, but I also found yellow, and I thought, well, that would be a fun color to use. So I've got some yellow here for future ones. Maybe I'll offer that. And then, of course, the red if you decide to go with the jalapeno. You'll also need a 3-inch sombrero. These come in a pack of 10, so you're going to end up buying quite a few of them. If you need to, you'll have quite a tree or a decoration of chili pepper ornaments when you get done. These are 3 inches in diameter. You'll also need, I've decided to put sequins and beads on this one. Now this is one of my old inventory, and I wanted to give him a little sparkle. So we're gonna put sequins on his body, just along the side, not cover him. Just a little bit of accent right along here. I also have this little wooden bead, and they're hard to see. Let me show it up to the camera. Hopefully it won't do that whole crazy focus thing. You'll see there, it's a little wooden bead, and it has a little marking on the side. I just found these in a multi-pack of beads, and this is what I'm going to use for his, I don't know what the word is called. I don't know what that's called. Is it a bolero tie? Something, but it's this hat tie that goes around there. And speaking of that, you'll also need some of this real leather lace. It's it's waxy. It's waxed thread, and it comes in a ream, I guess, of skein of 25 yards. You won't need that much, of course, But I have a dark brown leather here, and it does have some wax on it, so your fingers are going to get really waxy. And you'll just need, oh, I don't know, maybe 12 inches of that, because it not only supplies the ornament hoop there on the back, but it also goes around his hat, and it holds his hat on his little pepper head. As far as tools, you'll need, of course, scissors for your fabric. I use Fiskars. They seem to work best for me. You'll also need, of course, your hemostats if you're going to, when you stuff it, and some stuffing. Needles and thread, and, of course, your trusty Scherbonder glue gun. And I use the glue sticks that are good for fabric. And this will be to put on his calyx, which is that funky part at the top, his mustache, and his hat, and also just to give a little tack down to this little bead that holds his hat on. Okay, let's get started. I've already cut this out. Like I said, if you go to my Discord, you'll see on the Aunt Anne's Tree category, you'll see the pattern there if you want to follow along. So like I said, I've gone with the chili pepper, and I will leave Mr. Jalapeno out here for you to watch too. I've got them both decorating here. And we're going to put on the sequins first. And look at me, I'm prepared. I've already threaded my needle, so I am ready to go. And I'm just going to, like I said, do a little accent line right down here. So I'll start right here. I've got these little box lids that I use, that I put my sequins and seed beads in for this purpose. They don't roll all over the table, and they're easy to pick up. And just going to line that on. And these are optional. You don't have to put the sequins on, but I wanted to give him a little bit of a flare. I'm going to put these about 1/4 inch apart as I go. I did use a needle that's a beading needle, so that the eye is a little smaller, so that the seed beads can get through that. Sorry for the way I sound. I still have a little bit of bronchitis and a cough, so my throat's a little raw from that. I don't really have any plans for Cinco de Mayo this year. Sometimes I put together a fiesta for the family. They seem to enjoy that. I make virgin margaritas for the kids. So basically lime juice. Oops. Oh, I also wanted to share with you, last week I made a, oh, that bead is too tiny. Let's get rid of that one. I made Cucumber. He is a character from Perception Check, from Perception Studios stream here on Twitch. They, it's a Dungeons and Dragons game that they do with Felted Friends, they're called. And I thought it was so adorable, and they were guests on one of our Nerdsmith programs last week, that I thought I'd make a cucumber ornament. Well, I have to tell you, I haven't mailed it out yet. I'm going to mail it to Danny, that is Cucumber's manager. And before I could mail it out, my daughter, my 10-year-old, decided that she wanted to make a cucumber ornament as well. I don't know why that's better. Oh, I know why. My thread here has a little bit of a knot at the end here, and that was catching. Let's see if I can loosen that up. My daughter decided she wanted to make a cucumber ornament too, so I brought that with me over to the stream studio to show you what she did. She snuck into my craft studio. There we go, that's better. And she made this cute little ornament. This is the original. I haven't mailed it yet. This is Cucumber, but look what she did. She made a little mini one. Isn't that cute? There were purple feathers everywhere. She could not have done it a worse stealth check in my craft studio with these feathers going everywhere. I had to hand her a lint roller to get rid of them all. She said I could mail that one off to him too, but I said no, I wanted to hang on to that one for my own collection. This is a nice, easy, casual ornament to work on. It doesn't require a lot of work. You can finish it within an hour if you have your tools and supplies ready. Maybe a little bit longer if you have to cut the pattern out. All these patterns are free for you to use if you are on my Discord. I try to make them fairly easy. There are not instructions on there, but all of my Aunt Anne's Tree episodes are up.
Well, look what the cat dragged in.
Hello, Rainek. Thank you for joining me. I need to do what you do on your stream and make shout out commands for when you guys come on, so I can give you a shout out. Rainek streams many nights during the week. He plays games, and his wife Lorena crafts. She's actually crafting. Is she crafting tonight? Oh, do I? See, I'm not a very good moderator to my own channel. She is. Is she still working on the hummingbird? Yay! There's Lorena's shout out. Thank you, Rainek. You are a good moderator. Good. Okay, so she's working on, she does a lot of steampunk stuff, and it looks so cool. She's making a steampunk hummingbird, and it's coming along great. I've seen the pictures of it. So there's our little bit of glitz and glimmer for our chili pepper. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to tie that off in the back, and then we're going to go ahead and get the eyes on our little guy here. Lorena and I are actually coordinating. Not this coming week, but the following week, hopefully. I have to find out her schedule for sure. But we are coordinating a project with my Dungeons and Dragons terrain and her steampunk. We are going to combine our efforts and create a gnomish steampunk laboratory underground. It's going to be time. Oh, she is. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, good. Yes, not this coming Tuesday. We're going to finish up. I've been working on Dunsby's Distillery. But the week after, I think we can go ahead and start. Even if she can't, I'll start on the terrain. Then she can work on the Modrons. She's going to do the Steampunk Modrons, which is a D&D creature that looks like steampunk. It looks like a clockwork type creature. Oh no, that's true. She does play football, so she is banged up and stiff and sore a lot of the time. But she's tough. She can handle it. Okay, let's get our eyes centered before I continue talking about that. Eyes are right about there. I don't have it marked on the pattern. You guys can just decide where you want the eyes to go. Again, I always triple stitch any kind of small beads. These are 3mm black beads. Now let me show you a trick. I'm going to pull that knot back up, and I am going to run the needle through I use 2 threads of the DMC floss, and that just gives it a little extra hold. But I am going to go through each bead 3 times just to be safe. These are not made for children. They're not meant to be toys, but I know that children like to reach for ornaments on a Christmas tree or any holiday tree, and our cute little chili peppers are no exception. So I try to make sure that I sew them all securely. Okay, and his other eye right next to it. So we're going to work on our steampunk gnome laboratory. It'll be a cave that I'm making for the D&D terrain, and she's going to be working on the Modrons that are, I guess, coordinate with that, and it'll be like a fun little co-op project that we'll work on together. I need to go buy some steampunk supplies though. I did go looking at Goodwill and some other thrift stores, hoping to find some old, I don't know, any kind of gadget or gizmo that might work well with that. I didn't find anything. The Goodwill near me didn't have a lot of a lot of choices there. I have a couple more thrift stores I could check. But I did find some things at in the hardware, not the hardware, the outdoor section of Walmart. I got some things that might be good for like the plating, the metal plating that would be on the ground there. Okay, so let's, this is an easy project. This goes on last because it has to be stuffed first, but let's go ahead and sew this up. I've got a couple red needles threaded. I am going to leave this part open. It is the widest and easiest part to stuff, which means I'm going to start my beginning stitch I've shown you before, right here. Now remember, that is going on, that's on the inside, and you can't see the needle from that side, or the thread or the needle coming through that side. It's meant to be buried. So I want it to go out the top, and you'll see the knot on the inside, but nothing on the back, and that stitch is coming right out the top. That's to start your blanket stitch. And I will get my sample of a blanket stitch out and show you, and then I'll start stitching. Those of you who watch my program have seen that before, but for anyone new, that is a blanket stitch. And you'll see me doing that very easily. The first stitch is always straight up and down through both pieces of felt, about 1/4 of an inch in, and that is subjected to the size of your project. If it's a tiny little stitch project, you want to make a tinier stitch, and if it's large like a blanket, you can make it larger. But it's about that size there. And then we're going to go over about 1/4 inch, so it looks like a box. Bring that thread through like that, and give it a gentle pull. I want to give a shout out to my friend Autumn. She is not here today because she's got family in town, so they are out about visiting and going sightseeing or something. I don't know, they're having a family day together, so good for her, which means she's not going to be streaming right after here. We try to coordinate our crafting streams. She is an excellent artist and does a stream following mine where she draws scenes from her book that she's working on, and other characters. She also plays Dungeons and Dragons, so that's how we met through Nerdsmith. So I'm just going to do this blanket stitch all the way around. This is easy peasy, nice and relaxing. 1/4 inch over and 1/4 inch deep, approximately. It always looks nicer when the stitches are evenly done. Of course, I'm doing this a foot away from my face, but if you're interested in any of these ornaments, they are available on Etsy, and you see that link below here. In fact, I think I have some jalapenos and chili peppers already on the site. As you can see, I've got 2 here, and I think I have a couple more made just in time. I don't know if I can get them to you in time for Cinco de Mayo, but they are there. Also, if you are a Nerdsmith subscriber, there is a discount code for my Etsy shop for you. And it's one of the many perks of being a Nerdsmith subscriber is a discount on my Etsy shop. And that's just for, as a bonus content for all of you who support me via Nerdsmith. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rainick. No worries. It's been a busy, crazy April for a lot of people. I know that because it has been for me. Busier than usual. Typically, May is really busy around my part of the world because our school system ends right on the Wednesday before Memorial Day. And because of that, of course, all sorts of school activities happen. This past Monday was Clover's chorus, 8th grade chorus concert, her last one from middle school. It was Happy Sad. And they did a really cool Disney medley. If you're a Facebook friend of mine, I posted it there. But that's always fun and emotional for the kids. And of course they have all their various parties. And I know Muffins with Mom is coming up. That's an early morning trek over to the elementary school for Littlest. Things we do for our kids. It's hard to see, I know, because I do use coordinating thread. This one is, I think, 817. Yes, 817. I don't know if that's good or bad, happy or sad that I know I know that number. I have to laugh because there is one version of red sold by DMC that the number for it is 666. I just find that hysterical. I'm not too worried about the stitches on the head because it is buried in the sombrero. Make sure, speaking of sombrero, make sure you've got your glue gun plugged in and ready to go. And you know what? I am almost out of this thread. I'll have to definitely have to get another piece before I continue to the end. So I'm going to stop it here at the top where I know it'll be hidden by the sombrero. So I'm just going to make that closing knot there. I'm not even going to worry about hiding that stitch. I know I usually tell you to hide the stitch, but I'm not worried about it because it will be hidden by the sombrero. Guess what? Look at, I am so prepared, folks. I have got another red thread already good to go. And I'm also not going to worry about hiding this stitch too much either. It has to start where I left off, but I don't have to worry about hiding it because that'll be hidden under the sombrero. I did go, when I went to Hobby Lobby, they did not have the hats at Michael's, by the way. Their doll making section there is all but gone, at least in Michael's near me. So I had to go to Hobby Lobby to get the hats. The sombreros, I call them. They call them straw hats. But next to that, I found 3-inch cowboy hats that I thought were adorable. So I bought one. They only came one to a package, so I just bought one. And I want to see what it looks like with the cowboy hat on. I'm going to stick with a sombrero for this project, but I can think of other ideas using the cowboy hat. I'm going to stop there so I can stuff it. I'm thinking, wouldn't it be cute to make a cowboy cactus with a big old smile on his face or something like that? I think that would be fun. All right, so let's get some stuffing out here. I use a hemostat for stuffing. You can also use, I have here a metal knitting needle. That's handy too. Start with a little bit, and we're going to go into the furthest part, which is that little tip on the end of the pepper. Just use a little bit at a time. It makes this stuffing look a lot more smooth as you go. And always try to buy the highest quality fiberfill that you can. The cheap stuff tends to lump and pill, and it doesn't look as smooth. Some projects it doesn't really matter, but then there are some that you want it to not have lumps in it. This is such a fun and easy project to do, and I'm glad I added the extra sparkle to him. I say him because he's got a mustache, so I haven't made a female one yet. I don't know. I don't think peppers have a orientation. Non-binary. I don't know how they work in the vegetable world. Are they vegetables? They've got seeds, so I don't know. Are they fruit or vegetables? Well, these are important questions I need my viewers to answer. I did not look that part up. I just looked up the parts of a chili pepper and learned about the calyx, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. All right. Almost. Let's give it a little more at the right here. As I pull that in to stitch it, I don't want it to be too weak. Okay. So I've got it stuffed, and let's just close it up. For next week, I thought it would be fun to make these cute little elephant ornaments. Now these are not Christmassy colors, and they're not meant for any holiday, but they would be really cute to give to a new parents for the birth of their baby. I've given them away to new moms and dads. Let me finish this stitch and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And those are easy to make also. We'll finish that one up in a day. But they're really cute and sweet. And they're perfect for something unique. Maybe for a baby shower. Maybe if you're one of those kinds of people that puts an ornament or something attached to a gift. I've had people do that before. They've taken my ornaments and attached them to holiday gifts that they give to people as sort of a bonus gift. Okay, I buried that stitch like I usually do. I'm going to tug on it just a little bit, snip it near the felt, and that stitch just disappears right inside there. Okay, so except for his mustache, he is ready. We're going to do that last. I do all that gluing last. Here's the elephants. I've got a blue one and a pink one. They've got little braided tails, little spots, and I did do the spots and the eyes on both sides, so if they do hang from a mobile or something in the baby's room, they've got a little ribbon there to hang with the ornament. But I thought they were really cute. Thank you. Yeah, I thought they'd make a really cute baby gift. All right, so we're done with the stuffing. Let's push that aside. And now let's put together the hat. So here's where your glue gun's going to come in handy. And you're going to want to put the ball fringe on the inside of the hat like this. So you see it from the underside. There's always a little bit of a seam on these hats, so that's where we're going to start, and we'll bury that in the back, of course. So we'll use our handy, let me wipe that little blob off. The one thing I do like about Surebonder is they don't drip as some other glue guns do. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. Right on the edge. And just glue and like an inch or so as you go. Just so that the little pom-poms appear on the other side to look like a sombrero. And like I said, you don't have to use the green. I found all different colors, and I thought the green looked best as coordinating for this, but you see here I bought some yellow, and that would be really cute too. Just depends on your choice. I think they had pink and purple and blue and all sorts of colors, so you could actually put a second row of it on there. Let's see what that would look like. Where's the beginning? There it is. You could line a second row like every other. That'd be cute too. Your ornament, you can decide how you want to assemble it. Now, you don't want to put too much glue on until you've had a chance to glue, because it does dry quickly. Hot glue is wonderful, but it does dry very quickly. So you have to be ready to apply, in this case, the pom-pom fringe before going on to the next part. Otherwise that glue will dry on there and then you'll just have a lump. Okay, I'm not going to cut it until I finish gluing it, because I want to overlap it slightly. Like that. And then I'll snip it once it's attached. And again, this is the back. This is the part behind his head, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Okay, and just snip it with your sewing scissors. Like that. And that's the fringe part. Now, the next part is a little difficult. I have, let's see, I had them here a second ago. I have a toothpick and a nail, because you're going to have to get this leather wax leather through your hat and around to the front, and you also have to get that loop in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that loop just like we do the ribbon loop. So tie it like this, just like we did the leather loop. And I don't have my old scissors here. I don't want to use my good ones. Let me see if I can find. Because the leather has wax on it, I don't want to get that wax on my good sewing scissors. So I should have had these at the table. Sorry about that. There we go. Just leave a little bit of a tail. Now, this is the part we decided, because it has that overlap part right here. This is the back. So that means that he's gonna hang a little bit like this over to the side. That's for good weight distribution. So right about here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke a hole through. The nail works the best. If you don't have one, you can try using a toothpick, but that might break as you poke through. So I'm going to poke that through, and then use, my hemostats might work for this, to push that through that hole right there. Like, whoop, it came right back through again. Let's try that again. There we go. And then I'm going to pull it gently to the knot area there and give that a glue with the glue gun. Just kind of close up that hole right there and let that dry. Okay. So while that is drying, we are going to get our other ready. And this, we'll use this one as an example. And I can tell you how much I used. Probably about, let's see, it looks like about 15 inches or so of that leather. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put the hole in through that goes right about there, right just below where you put the loop in. That's to hold the ornament hook. So right there, we're going to poke another hole through that straw hat. And then we're going to feed the leather. It is not wanting to feed upward. It's because I made the hole downward. Let's do it this way. There we go. Let's do the other end. That one kind of got crooked. It's a very stiff, this leather, this wax leather is very stiff. There we go. And then we're going to poke it back down the other side, right here. Basically halfway. Okay. And then, perfect. And that lies on the back of his hat like that. Find the center. Right about there. Perfect. And now, that one goes through this. This is a wooden bead. I don't know, it's about, oh, I don't have a, do I have a millimeter? I don't know if I have a millimeter on here. Yes, I do. Backward. It is about 4 millimeters. But it's a little wooden bead. It's kind of a funky shape, and it has a design on it. I thought it looked really sort of Western looking. So I wanted to use something like that. You can use any bead you'd like though, as long as it has an eye opening enough, big enough for this thicker leather cording. So one in one side, one in the other. And they both have to fit in there, so it has to be a pretty large. Hey, tea girl! So glad you could be here. So I'm not gonna measure that yet because it has to be attached to our the head of our little pepper. But I am going to take the ends here and tie them in a knot, like I did here. Probably a double knot. Just like that. I may have to tie these in a different spot if we pull it tighter. We'll see how it looks. Okay. And that is our hat. The loop part goes in the back because that's where we put the the end of our, right here, the end of our trim. Okay, and now we have to apply the calyx. That's what this is called on a pepper, if you didn't know that. And we're just going to glue it to his head like that, just like a crown, using our Surebonder glue gun. Just like that. And if you have to trim that so it doesn't fall on his eyes, that's fine. But I kind of liked it a little floppy. And then his hat. Because, oops. Make sure that is in front, of course. This hat goes on like that. And then we'll glue it on there like that. And make sure that that tie is right where we want it. Right there. That's that ribbon, that loop, so that we can use it as a ornament hanger. Okay. So while that's on there, and I've got it right in the position I want it, I'm going to hold it back like this and apply the glue. I'm going to apply it to the inside of the hat. Because I don't want it to accidentally go too far down on the pepper so that that glue doesn't, I don't want that glue to be seen. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, tucking it in, gluing it, and now we're going to just do it a little bit on the back to keep that on there. And that can just be anywhere on the back, just to make sure that it doesn't fall off or get pulled forward. There we go. Oh, even through all that straws. It's hot. Okay. So now he's almost done. We've got the leather strap there attached to his little head. We've got to just glue on his mustachio. Where did I put it? It's here somewhere. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, I don't want this to be seen, so I'm going to put it in the very center of the back here in very little quantity. I don't want it to ooze out. There we go. And this part I was using to hold, so I'm going to flip it up like this and put a little bit on the back. There we go. Perfect. And just gently apply that so it doesn't ooze out. And now we can put his little hat on, and we are going to give a little bit of a, I will have to change this one, I think is too low. We're going to just put a little dab of glue right there, and that's where that bead will go. See the glue? And then just hold that down. There we go. Now this is too long. I think I'm gonna have to, let's see, I'll cut it here. Again, using these old scissors. And just give it a tie here. I'm trying not to pull it off the pepper. There we go. And that's it. That one's fine, so I'm going to leave that one. There's our chili pepper with extra bling, with those sequins along the side there. I like it better with the bling. And if you wanted to, you could put a little glue there and a little glue there, but I wouldn't use a glue gun, especially the glue gun with the fabric glue, because that white will show. It does not dry clear. So if you're going to glue that part down, you either use a clear glue stick or glue gun, or just use regular all-purpose glue. But it doesn't really need to be. That shouldn't come out. And there we go. This was a fun and easy project to do. Look at that. We have 15 minutes left in the stream. Well, I'll show you what I'm making next week, in case you missed it. These cute little elephants that you can give to a family, or friends or family, in case they, when they have a little one. And if you don't know what it is, you can always make it a nice mint green or any color if you know their nursery colors. And that can be their keepsake for when their new little one arrives. I don't have the year on it. If you want to try to get clever and add the year on, you could do that. I chose not to add years on so that I don't have backup inventory in case they don't sell that year. Anyway, coming up next Tuesday, I'm going to talk to you while I put all my stuff away. I have, tomorrow night, I have 3 Sheets One Shot. We're going to be writing a brand new D&D one-shot campaign. We have finished up our previous one, and we have to start a new one, a brand new one. I have no idea what our adventurers are going to do, so that'll be fun. And then, of course, next Tuesday, we're working more on Dunsby's Distillery. And I had fun. I posted pictures to Twitter and to my Discord channel, progress that I've made off-screen with that. So if you want to go check that out, I'll be finishing that up this Tuesday. And then, of course, next Thursday will be these little elephants. Let's see. I don't have Autumn following up. Like I said, she has family in town, and she is off gallivanting with them. I hope she's having a great time. It's a beautiful day. I know she's in the northern part of Georgia, not too far from me. So if it's anything there like it is here, it's a beautiful, sunny, warm day. Hopefully they're taking in the sights. But I'm sure she'll return soon once her company leaves. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope you liked our little chili pepper. And like I said, if you want to just replace it with the green, you can make a jalapeno, Senor Jalapeno. That's really it. Oh, I didn't show you the hat. Here's the cowboy hat we could have put on our little chili pepper. I should have put it on there before I put that one on there, but I don't know. I like the sombrero. I'm glad I got this because we could probably use it for another project, but I do like the sombrero. All right, everybody. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow night, or join me on any one of my streams. Good night. Woohoo, bye. Bye, everybody.